Welcome to Airborne on staugustine.com, bringing interesting people from your world so you can stay dialed into your community and the folks who make it tick. I want to welcome journalist from the St. Augustine Record, Peter Guinta. Peter, how are you?
Good, thank you.
It's good to finally, it's good to have you here. I've been a fan of your work for quite some time.
Oh, thank you.
And I thought we'd start off talking about your work. You have, it seems like a diverse writing style. You seem to do stories on all sorts of things. How do you get these ideas? Where do they come from?
Well, they come in from many places. Mostly the government entities send me agendas. I cover government mostly. Mm-hmm. People just call us up and say, I know you want to, you should look into this. Sometimes people just tell you a story and you see a good story in it. We have lists of stories we can't get to. That's how many there are. So we don't just sit around and scratch saying, what are we going to do today? They come in like an avalanche sometimes.
And I always find your work quite in depth, and yet you seem to turn it out rather rapidly. Is that a journalist's trademark?
30 years of being a journalist, you know it's sometimes an art, sometimes a craft, but the craft part is getting it done quickly, and then the art is going back and making it a better read for everybody.
Mm-hmm. You, making it a better read, you're also an author, and you produced the book Illumination Rounds. May I hold it up here,
sure.
Please? Tell us about how this came to be.
Well, my friend Randy Cribbs and I were both Vietnam veterans and friends, both writers. We wanted to somehow express the stories we had about Vietnam. Mm-hmm. In a book, so we both wrote 6 stories for the book. It's got 12 stories in it. And Randy's a little lighter. He likes to do the funny stuff and some dramatic. And I'm a little heavier. I do the darker things.
Is it fiction, or is it fiction based on
fact? It's all
fact,
fiction,
though?
but all the stories have a little piece of you in them. And I made sure that was some of my sensibility was in each character, the main characters.
You won a Royal Palm Literary Award for this book in 2006. What did that mean to you?
I was very proud because it's my first shot out on fiction. I've done lots of nonfiction as journalism, but this is when you write a fiction story and you get awarded something. You're just very proud of it. I'm still proud of it. I haven't written anything fiction for publication since, but I have been starting. I started a novel or two, and more stories.
Now, you and the Record did something very fascinating, where you actually went to Iraq as a journalist, didn't you?
Yes, in 2004 they sent me over as an embedded reporter with the Florida National Guard, 124th Infantry Battalion.
I love the stories
regiment
that you brought back from that. That really, what was that like?
Well, it was definitely culture shock. Iraq is not just a regular place. It looks like the worst third world country you've ever seen. It's very dry. It's very windswept. It could be a very fertile and rich country if there were any water, but there isn't much water. And the people are just wonderfully basic. I met nice people, but then we were also shot at by not nice people.
Telling the stories of the Florida boys going over there,
yes,
must have been very gratifying for you.
It was. I wish I had told more of them. I just told a few. I did 35 or 36 stories in a month, so that was like one a day. I had to move pretty quickly. And it was very interesting, especially there was one night when we were on patrol that they captured three terrorists planning a bomb.
Wow.
And that was like they almost shot them because they wouldn't listen to English directions. Apparently they didn't speak any English. But they wouldn't raise their hands, but they finally did. And it was very interesting to be that close to somebody you imagined was a terrible enemy. And yet I was struck by how shabby they were. They were just poor people that had been paid to do that thing. And that was an eye-opener.
Well, we'd really love to have you back. I think it would be fun for us to be able to work with you on any project you might think that's worthwhile. I think it would be a way to expand the experience to our viewers and the readers of the St. Augustine Record. And
I'm always open to people to call and give me story ideas if they think something should be investigated or checked out, or just an injustice that they see. If I can't do it, somebody will.
Peter Guinta, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate having you here on Airborne. You've been Airborne with staugustine.com, bringing interesting people from your world so you can stay dialed into your community and the folks who make it tick. See you next time, everybody.